Good evening. We'll call the council meeting in order. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel serving. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law satisfied the hearing. This meeting is published in notice on December 21st, 2018. A copy of the schedule is posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, which is so noticed in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson. Councilman Vaccaro.
Here.
Councilwoman Drug.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilwoman Dean.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Vice President De Jesus.
Here.
And President Spade.
Here.
We're going to begin this evening with a public hearing on the adoption of both the Main Street Special Improvement District budget and the Woodbridge Township Special Improvement District budget. The references resolutions 1 and 2 in your packet. This time I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing on those two budgets.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on numbers 1 and 2 on your agenda, which are the district budgets for Main Street and Woodbridge Road. Any comments from the public?
Do you have a mic tonight or not?
Speak right here. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry. I didn't see the microphone over there.
Then we just do it right here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit more information we could on both of those. What exactly are they going to cover?
Both special improvement district budgets, they operate the operating expenses. So one is a little higher because there's funds put in and they haven't purchased any property, but pretty much one and the same.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on that? What exactly? It's about 3 times that. It's not a little higher. You have $255,000 versus $868,000.
Mayor?
The Special Improvement District for Oak Tree Road every year puts about $150,000 aside toward the purchase of property for parking, but they have never completed a transaction. So every year that just gets rolled over into the next budget, added up, and that's why that one is so much higher. There's about $600,000 of that's for property. The Main Street budget does not include any purchase of property. Both budgets have money for things like marketing and other operating expenses to keep the downtown special improvement districts viable.
Specifically, what properties are you looking at on Oak Tree?
We don't know.
Okay. It's just there if you want it. I mean, if you need it at some point in time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on resolution 1 and or 2? Hearing none, no comment. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 19, 2019, which includes the Board of Health minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, letter A, which is the bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new information technology equipment in the amount of $5,975,000. I get a motion that this ordinance will be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing will be open.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch,
Mr. Small.
if I may. The objective of this bond is to add a redundant prime site and replace the current microwave system on the township emergency service radio system. It will also replace in-life radios in the police department and also replace the current aging 911 system. The prime site is the main controlling site for the emergency services radio system. We're looking to install a redundant prime site as a backup to the main site. This will allow us to still utilize the radio system if the current prime site fails or goes offline for any reason, which has happened in the past for short periods of time. If we do not have the redundant prime site as a backup and the current prime site fails, the radio system will be offline and radio communications would not be possible. This would put police officers, firemen, EMS workers' lives in danger as well as the general public. The upgrade also includes the replacement of the current microwave system. The microwave system is a transport mechanism between our 7 remote sites and the radio system. The system is currently at the end of its useful life and needs to be replaced. Without this replacement, the current system may fail and interrupt radio communications. Along with doing this upgrade, there will be a need for all fire and EMS radios updated to be able to work on the new system. The mayor and administration has negotiated with the vendor to supply all radio flash upgrades to all EMS and fire department radios at no charge. This is a savings of $320 per radio for each agency. We'll be purchasing all new radios for the police department. The current radios are at the end of their shelf life and can no longer be sent out for maintenance. Finally, the current 911 system is in need of being replaced. The system is becoming outdated and unreliable. We're also going to be replacing it with a state-of-the-art system that will allow us to dispatch our emergency services units more efficiently and effectively. This system will also be ready to handle any new avenues of communications into our dispatch center. I'd just like to note, I served in all three entities when we replaced the former system, and I know people in this room could attest to the fact that there were places within this town that we couldn't communicate. We can't have that ever again. So this needs to be done for the safety of everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Small. Thank you for that well-detailed report. And as you said, being a member of the emergency services for over 25 years, I want to thank the mayor and the administration for working on this. This is absolutely incredible and much needed. So thank you so much.
Are there any other comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letter A only.
Again, Tom Maris, Board of
I'm sorry, Mr. Barris.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Microphone.
John Bertani, Woodbridge. Just curious, how old is the old system?
Microphone.
You know, I just remember so many years ago, we spent an awful lot of money to put a new system in it, and now it's obsolete. And the second part of the question is the new system, what would be life expectancy with the new system?
I'm going to say, Mr. Vitarik, and don't hold it to me. It's
11 years old.
I thought it was 10. It's 11 years old.
Well, listen, you need it. You've got to do it because you can't take a chance for anything to fail, especially large town like this. So I definitely need it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I'm sorry. Go, please, Captain.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. President, Paul DeLeo, Corrigan Fire Department. I'm captain over there, serving fire services for 30 years. I just wanted to compliment the council and the administration on making this decision and partnering again with fire districts. Walls will be broken down between the fire districts, the EMS, and on all levels throughout this town. I live in this town and I've seen a lot of things happen. We protect our residents, we protect the people that live here, but we also protect the people that come through here. We're a big community and this is essential. And like Councilman Small said, we cannot have the chance of something happening to our radio system. So I want to commend the council and thank them very much because I chose to live in this town, raise my children in this town. I enjoy being in this town, and I'm proud to serve with all my brothers and sisters in emergency services. And I want to continue to do that. I want to do it safely with state-of-the-art equipment, and we try to do our best to keep up with everything. But I'm very proud to be part of this community and proud to work with the council and the administration. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, my family. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public?
I'll try one more time. Again, Tom Maris, Board of New Jersey. No, I'm glad to see this. If I remember right, it was actually Irene that may have brought this to the forefront. We had a problem back there with one of the big hurricanes, or one of the big storms, and we were having communication problems. So I think it's excellent that you're doing this and tying all of our EMS services together. I congratulate you and the administration on doing so. Much needed. We're a big town. We're getting more complicated and a lot more going on. So having these type of state-of-the-art systems is something we really need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public?
At 160 Jefferson Street, Mellow Park Terrace. I'll leave it at that tonight. Who's representing Fire District Number 9, Island tonight?
I'm sorry, before you, can you put the mic back in?
Just handed this to me. So, you want it in here?
No.
This one's live? Should I start from the beginning? Yes. Ex-chief from Fire District Number 9 is Lynn in Mellow Park Terrace. Just want to go out of my way to thank the administration and how they handled this whole transition. And a special thank you to Business Administrator Bennett and Deputy Police Director Niski. He kept the fire department in the loop. They heard our concerns and they went out of their way to make sure that the older radios that we acquired 11 years ago then brought forward with newer software. They're calling it flashing. Originally it was going to cost us $320 each. We have 19 of those old radios, so all of a sudden that adds up to over $6,000 just to stay current. So by including us and the other 8 districts, obviously, as Paul Leo mentioned earlier about Port Reading, it's going to be a savings to the fire districts, but more importantly, it's going to keep the capabilities of all the radio stations in the township on par, and we'll have interoperability between us, First Aid, Police, OEM, Public Works. So it's the right thing to do. So I want to thank the administration.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public?
Patrick Kenny, Emergency Management Director for the Town of Woodbridge. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Mayor, Administration, Deputy Director Niski, Director Hubner. I want to thank all of you for this system. In time of emergency, just that we've had last night with the flooding that we had around town, the fire that we had the night before, communication is a big part of what the fire service, the first aid, and the police department all need to work together. And with this upgrade, it's going to keep us going forefront and keeping us all together to save the lives and keep everybody in good working condition. I know there's a neighboring town that's having some problems with their radio system, and they get worried every day going into calls that they might not be able to hear everybody. At least here we know that we're safe and everybody's going to be safe. And I just want to commend everybody and thank you all for putting this together and making sure it happens.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments from the public? Hearing no other comments, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed and vote to be adopted on this way? Want to speak?
Jeremy Vargas. I just want to, on behalf of the Port Reading First Aid Squad, take a moment to acknowledge the work that the administration, the council, men and women that are putting towards this project. At the end of the day, these radios are our lifeline out there on the street, on calls. It's a piece of our equipment that can't fail. And with this upgrade, it's not only going to be able to help keep us safe, but all the residents that we serve as well.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Any other comments? Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, where it's to be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance to authorize the application for a long-term tax exemption with redevelopment group. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B. Letter B open.
Yeah, can I speak from here?
And you can go over there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom Harris. It's unbig, the tax abatement. Is that for the Stern Towers project?
It's the old Stern Tower property. Yes, sir.
So you're approving it this evening, assuming that it's going to pass. What's the longevity on that tax abatement?
It's a 30-year plan.
And has an evaluation been done on the value of it?
The agreement's available. I don't. I mean, somebody can add up to 30 years what they're paying us, but I don't have it in front of me.
Well, I think I heard the mayor say that the agreement is available. It had not been. As a matter of fact, we'd gone to court to try and get it. Apparently now it will be available. Is that correct? After it's read in and approved?
It didn't exist when you went to court to try to get it, and that's what the judge told you. It didn't exist, so you can't sue to request us to give you something that doesn't exist.
Not quite sure, but that's fine. Thank you. Appreciate the information.
Any other comments on letter B?
John retired Woodson. I was at the Board of Education meeting, and people came over there to support not the kindergarten, but they want the kids to go to school between 3 or 4 years old because, to keep a head start, and they're going to be able to grow up to be successful, and they will come to live in Woodbridge, and more people will come to Woodbridge to live because of that. My question is, if we give everybody tax exempt, like Stern Towers and even smaller, larger situation, and they do not pay school taxes, and don't pay some of the taxes, but again, they don't pay the bulk of the school taxes. Who's going to pay all the money, so to speak, to support all this?
Everybody pays taxes, Mr. Torres.
I know everybody pays taxes, but I know. So those
Thought
people,
process, excuse me, the thought process that people don't pay taxes because of a pile or tax incentive is absurd. This building is old. It has no taxes now. We're going to get new taxes with the new project. And quite frankly, the seniors are quite happy of the new project that they're going to over in Borrego.
already. But I'm talking about our Stern Tower. Before, we used to go only tax exempt, what you call pilot programs, to the what you call brownfields properties.
Well, we're not talking about brownfield properties. We're talking about ordinance
building in Woodbridge,
which is
from out of a town.
agreement for that property. That just answered your question.
But again, where is the money going to come from?
Councilman Carroll?
Council President, the term pilot, the first word is payment in lieu of taxes. Nobody's not getting away with paying anything. The people building the building are paying. We obviously have contributed to Board of Education Board of Education projects, so there will not be any problems with educating children. You were referring to them speaking about preschool. As of now, we don't have preschool, but I'm a proponent of preschool. But there's no issue about any of these companies in the payment in lieu of taxes program that there'll be any lack of funds.
Would you agree with me, Councilman, if they pay taxes as our citizens do, the more taxes will come to the town?
If we didn't offer an incentive, there would be no reason for these developers to come into town and redevelop these projects that are old and outdated. So I don't agree with it. What I agree with is this entice people to come in, spend their money in our town, and bring money into our town, which will enhance our education program and also make our town better. So I'm in complete support of it, whether it's what you referred to before with Amazon or whether it's with development.
But again, so far it did not work, did it?
I'm sorry, Mr.
So many years we're doing this, for quite a few years. But so far, talk about education, your education is going down, everything is going down. So it doesn't work because you overbuild it. It's not complete chain of success.
I don't understand what overbuilding has to do with education.
Well, since you're a councilman with education,
I'm also an educator.
let's face it. But
Councilman
again,
Ficarra?
it does not work.
If I could just add, you're saying that our schools are failing. Actually, our most recent CUSAC report card has our scores have gone up above 80% when they were 3 points below in the previous years. So our scores are actually heading north, sir.
Well, going up, of course, they will prove what they give it. But again,
that's not a gimmick. That's a state calculation. They have to satisfy in areas of governance, in curriculum, in personnel, all of that. They were for 3 years we were below the standard, and now we're above.
okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Any other comments from the public? Hearing no other comments, the motion of the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll now take letters C, D, and E by consent. These are all amendments to Chapter 7 of the revised general ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge. The first is to delete several handicapped spaces designated for private residences. The second is to add, and the third is to also designate a portion not available for residential permitted parking. With that said, can I get a motion that these ordinances be taken up on second and third reading and public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from the council? All in favor, aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on these two ordinances under C, D, and E. The public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed and the three ordinances be adopted and submitted to the mayor as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take letters F, G, H, I, J, and K by consent on first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed on first reading, published in the Home News on July 26, 2019. Notice the public hearing will be held on August 16, 2019-17.
Second.
Questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch, I have a comment on letter J. The residential parking on the Casey section, it's something that the residents have been asking us about. They have had complaints of people that don't live in the area parking there, so we've been working with our police department, and people have been ticketed and towed. So this is going to be beneficial for the residents there. They're going to have residential parking, and they will only be allowed to park if they have those, we don't know yet whether it's going to be a sticker or something hanging in their cars. They will be getting some information in their mail. All the residents in the Casey section will be getting a letter in their mail with more details and the times that they have to come to the police department to apply for the residential parking stickers. They need their license, their insurance card, their registration card, and proof of residence, and they all have to have matching addresses. Esto es para los residentes del área de Casey. Nadie se puede estacionar en la calle o en parte de la calle sin un permiso de estacionamiento residencial. También van a necesitar un permiso para el estacionamiento municipal que queda entre Judy Drive y Dino Drive. Una carta va a ser enviada mañana a todas las residencias con más información cómo aplicar para el permiso residencial de estacionamiento. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We take resolutions by consent 1 through 30. Any motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from council?
Resolution number 13. I just want to thank the mayor and administration for helping us to execute a New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development grant with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development for the pathways to for the recovery program. This will help in recovery get jobs and further educate them. So it's vital and it's a really big problem now. So I thank you for your help with that.
Any other comments?
Yeah, and I'm abstaining on number 9, please.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. At this time, I'd like to turn to the mayor for our bi-weekly council update.
Thank you, Council President. The past 2 weeks, the following is the report. Councilman Greg Ficarra, who runs the Wellness Committee, coordinated a very successful pizza run from Williams Park and Seawarren to Moby Dix with a record number of over 300 runners. Councilwoman Nancy Drum assisted in the distribution of water at the event. Councilwoman Lizbeth De Jesus joined with Councilman Howie Bauer to bring a very successful pop-up library to the Casey section of town. I stopped by there. It was absolutely terrific. Councilman Bauer also accompanied and mentored 15 young men and women ages 14 to 17 from the Fords and Colonia Fire Company's Explorer program for a week of training in Ohio, which is a very, very serious commitment of time. On his part, Howie also attended the Middlesex County Sheriff PBA holiday in July, which raised funds for a 5-year-old from town with a brain tumor. Councilwoman Drum, Councilman Corey Spiller, Councilman Ficarra, and Councilman Patel attended the grand opening of the Community Center at Jacob's Landing Project in Woodbridge. Nancy and Vera then attended the grand reopening of the Woodbridge Jewelry Exchange in Woodbridge Center. Councilman Kyle Anderson spoke at a Junior Police Academy graduation, which he attended as the proud parent of 2 graduates. Councilwoman Debbie Mee and Councilwoman Drum spoke at a session about drug abuse. Councilman Ficarra and Councilwoman De Jesus also attended a graduation, and Councilman Spiller attended in uniform with the Avenel Fire Company and their apparatus. Councilman Spiller also attended the Eros Park cleanups. Councilman Anderson is a board member of the Woodbridge Hall of Fame, assisted in their fundraising, and also coordinated a coaching clinic as president of the Broncos football and cheer organization. Councilman Ficarra also attended the Greenway Family Success Center meeting with the state ombudsman for individuals with disabilities. Councilwoman Drum joined with the Green Team at a concert to give out shopping bags to those who brought in plastic bags, and the turnout was terrific. Councilman Brian Small joined Nancy, Debbie, and Kyle at Assemblyman Craig Coughlin's annual Bowl for Hunger event at Majestic Lanes, and the effort raised nearly $50,000. Councilwoman Drum also welcomed 2 new businesses to Woodbridge, both while I was on vacation. Rosie's Mexican Grill and the Babe Cave. I was wondering what I missed when they did the grand opening of the Babe Cave, but then I found out it was a hair salon that specializes in extended eyelashes, and I realized I didn't miss anything. I am not likely to ever patronize that business, so I do support Woodbridge businesses overall, but I will not be at the Babe Cave anytime soon. Many of the council also attended one of the performances of Cabaret by the Woodbridge Community Players at Woodbridge High School, and there are still 2 shows Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30. And of course, since 2 weeks ago, we've had 10 concerts since our last meeting, and the council members are regulars at those shows. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Greatly appreciate that. I want to thank all my fellow council mates for everything they've done over the last 2 weeks. We will now move to the public portion of the meeting. Please approach the microphone if you like and state the area of the township you're from, and there's a 5-minute time period.
No comments from the public this evening?
John Bastard, Woodbridge. Last night at the store, I used to live by Vanel 55 years ago when I moved there. We always had a problem on the Evelyn Street under the bridge of the railroad tracks. Last night, I understand, I saw that there was a car actually under the wood. Can they do something about it? Because eventually somebody will die. Because my daughter works in the State Department. Why should I say? We cannot be just right 99 times. We got to be right 101 times. Otherwise, we lose by 1. We are losers. I'm sure there's technology to do something about it. Because again, before we talk about a firehouse alone, if there's a fire the opposite side of the tracks, you cannot send the fire truck. I guess we will put the fire trucks on the other side. There should be something to let the public know about it. Don't drive under the bridge because they don't know how deep it is because it's a night or actually there's a lot of rain, they can see it. But once we hit the water, it's late. So I'm sure all the technology, there's something should be done, maybe not just in Evanel. Guess what? There's Route 9 over here in Waverly Street that happens quite a few places. So please do something because we just keep building, and you all know building and all this room temperature, we want to call it, there's a flash floods. It doesn't take much. That's how they improve the life.
Well, Mr. Vittori, the Avenel Street underpass is flooded for 45 years because that's how old I am. Probably 15 years ago, we installed the drain pipe and it's gotten significantly better. When you get 5 inches of rain in an hour, it's going to flood. Areas flood that haven't gotten flooded. In terms of Avenel Street underpass, we had police vehicles, and we still had cars that went around it to try to go through the underpass. So I understand your concern, and it's a legitimate concern, but we've done everything possible that we could to alleviate flooding and to have motorists not use not only that underpass, but any other area that floods.
It's a very good suggestion, but again, most of us that live in this town road, we know about bad spots, but there's a lot of people that go through the town, they're not aware of it. And believe me, I used to be, I got into the flood on the of 35, and I couldn't believe the water came up, it was high, and it doesn't take much to get in trouble. So there's technology, I'm sure, from the county or state or somebody, there should be a money there, get good warning, so just automatically shut up the street, because it will happen. So please do something about it. Again, we can say 45 years or 100 years. Let's be ready so that nobody gets hurt again. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public?
Good evening, Tom Maris, North New Jersey. I'm just going to follow very briefly what John had to say. Before I go there, I want to give a shout out to our fire and EMS people who are well represented tonight. And our town is one of the safest in the area because of these gentlemen and the other members of those squads. Thank you so much for all you do. In regard to that, can they put in some type of warning systems to indicate, like the really bad ones, that if it sees a certain amount of water, it turns on red lights and says, do not enter. And even there, I think, Councilman, you had said that some people were actually going around the police cars. Were they ticketed for that? Because they failed to honor the instructions of an officer. So if they got themselves stopped, or even if they didn't, they they should have been ticketed, but not evading.
That I'm not aware of.
At prior meetings, I have brought up the questions about the Woodbridge Alliance, Art Alliance, or if you will, Woodbridge Curtains, Avenel Art Center, in trying to find out who the entity is in the township, which body within the township, if you will, is responsible for the financials of that operation. Who is that?
I believe you submitted an open request on that.
I did, and I keep coming back. Basically, nobody. I got the salaries, which are about $600,000 for 8 people, and the other things that I asked about, the revenues, the bookings, how everything is done, there was no record. When I went back and changed it to who is responsible with Woodbridge Arts Alliance, who owns the liquor license for that, again, I was told Woodbridge Township does not track that. So specifically, who does? What books are those going into?
As I mentioned, you've got all the information that is required for Oprah.
It's a straightforward question, Council. Why are you dodging it? The
I'm not dodging it.
administration is here. Who is responsible financially for that within Woodbridge Township?
You keep coming
Telling me
here.
nobody?
You keep coming here and complaining about taxpayer dollars, taxpayer dollars, taxpayer dollars, but yet you make our employees excruciatingly painful at all your Oprah requests. You got your Oprah request. Your question is answered.
It wasn't answered, and I'm making a point of it. You keep coming back and saying, I don't care how much it costs you at Oprah. If we could get the answers here at the council, it would be a lot easier. I wouldn't have to spend the time and the energy doing them either, or going to court. So again, who is responsible? Where do they show up in the township books? Who is responsible for the arts center? Whatever you want to call it. Avenel Arts, whatever.
I believe I answered you, but Mayor, would you like to say something?
The township is not responsible. They do not show up in the township books.
Is there any agreement between the township and the owner of the building for the rental?
Yes, you come to all the meetings. We passed it many months ago.
So there is some financial link to that operation then?
They are a tenant in the building that the township owns.
Right. And I noticed that the people that own the liquor license, or at least 2 of them, are employees of the township.
Nobody owns the liquor license. It's a concessionaire license. Nobody owns it. It's applied for annually, and there's a 15-member board.
Right. Where does that money go?
That's none of your concern, Mr. Maris. It doesn't go to the township.
I want the public to know that, because the public's paying for that, and there's no record.
The public's paying for what?
You just said there is a rental agreement. So we're paying
It's a dollar rental agreement.
Okay, we're getting there slowly. It just takes a lot of pulling.
Listen to the meetings you come to, you'd know all these answers.
Yeah, if I could get them straight, I probably would.
Yeah, you're not getting them straight at all.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, my name is Surendra Kaptula.
It's going to be
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Surendra Kaptula. I'm popularly known as Guruji. I live at 112 Wood Avenue, Islip. I have been living in this town for past 16 years. I feel I am very fortunate to be in this town. I'm really very happy. I'm here to share a few things which make me happy. About a month ago, we had a great celebration, 350th anniversary celebration in Merrill Park. It was such a memorial day-long program with kids' activities, memorial, very beautiful, melodious music program and entertainment program, plus good drinks, food, a lot of fun. It was such a great thing, and it was not a simple activity. A whole day program. It was amazing. I've seen hundreds, thousands of people coming and going. My God, there was no place to park. It was excellent. I wanted to share with you. I really had every minute to enjoy on that day. Also, I have seen a newly built Avenel Performing Arts Center, a unique one. I felt a beautiful theater for the residents of township. It's really hats off to the township's work. Wonderful. I'd like to thank you. And one more thing. Recently, all day long, some school program for the special needs students, irrespective of what their age is, has been started. It's a unique program, and I'm so glad that all needs have been taken care of for everybody, all kinds of people. And I once again like to thank you, and please keep doing the best things. We are always supporting you, and our support is always there. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Are there any other comments from the public?
J. Patel. I live at 200 North Avenue. I moved to this block about 12 years ago. Very beautiful. It was one of the greenest spot in the entire township. But what I'm finding is, in the last 10 years, when the new residents come in, the first thing they do is they chop up all the trees in the houses. And I had this concern, and I feel very bad for this one. I communicated with the mayor through the email, and I also communicated this issue with the marker. I have the copies of the email. I also provided the list of people who are taking down the trees. And I was also provided this tree ordinance, but it is hardly followed. So I would request the administration to do something about this greenery of this town, and this tree ordinance should be followed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments this evening from the public? No other comment, can I get a motion that the public portion of the meeting?
Motion.
Second. Question? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Now move to the agenda portion of the meeting. On our agenda, item number 2. There is now free parking for Lorraine Park with all its amenities. Looking behind the Avenue First Aid Squad, residents can park there daily, Monday, 7 days a week after 10 a.m. This will also help keep vehicles off the residential streets. There's a crosswalk right next to the First Aid Squad on the right-hand side at Manhattan Avenue, and then there's a light-controlled crosswalk at the entrance to Station Village. So please come out and enjoy everything Lorraine Park has to offer. Item number 3, Crossroads Park, the Bird Walk, July 27th at 8 a.m. July 28th, come to Crossroads Wildlife Preserve for a guided bird walk to see and hear birds in different variety of habitats. You can register at communitypaths.net/Township of Woodbridge. To make it easier, all the information in the link is on the township website. I'd also like to thank several groups of volunteers that have been weeding at Crossroads Park recently. The native plants are doing very well and have attracted several different species of new birds and animals. Item number 9, Avenue Fire Department. I worked with the Avenue Fire Department at a major fire Sunday and Monday, which affected 2 businesses. I want to thank them. I want to thank all the emergency services in the township as well. We've been having mutual aid from Denellen, Borough, Middlesex. So in that kind of role, right into what we yesterday was with all the storms. So I want to thank all of the emergency service providers and as well as all of our departments. There's our police department, our sewer, roads, DPW, everybody was just all over the place doing the best they can. So thank you very much. Item number 14, yesterday's Golden Oldies concert at Capri's was postponed due to the weather. It's rescheduled for tomorrow, July 24th. I know we aired this on Friday, but a lot of people can see us on YouTube, so if that's the case. Tonight's Tuesday tribute concert, Green River, was postponed due to the weather. The show is rescheduled for Wednesday, August 14th at 7:30 p.m. at the high school. I had one thing about the bags, so do you want to touch base on that? Thank you. Yeah, come on.
So I know that the mayor had mentioned it as well. There's a green team we have a green team advisory committee, and under that, we're trying to make ourselves available Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Monday and Tuesday behind high school concerts, and Wednesdays at Park Press to stop plastic pollution. We're asking our residents and our businesses to bring their plastic bags to us, take them from you, and in exchange we'll give you a recyclable cannabis bag, all in an effort to stop plastic pollution. So we're asking you to take a pledge. So it's an initiative that we're carrying out through the Green Team Advisory Group under the administrative efforts of Carolyn Herbert, Tom Quinn, and the engineering department.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jones. It's an excellent program for sustainability. The rest of my agenda is in order. Council Vice President Jesus.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order, but I just want to congratulate all of the 2019 Junior Police Academy graduates. The program speaks for itself. This is, I believe, is the 11th year, and this the 10th year. And I'm happy to announce that the second week of the program this year, there were no dropouts. All the kids stayed. I want to thank the police department for running such a wonderful program for our youth. The parents and the kids were so happy, and we knew Kyle's kids, and there was a lot of kids my daughter's age that were there. I couldn't convince Madison to go, but maybe next year we can try again. But again, it's a wonderful program, and I'm very proud of it. Also, I just want to thank, we had a successful first-time KSB. We call it the KSB Pop-Up Library. But if you know the KSB section, there's no school buildings, there's no community buildings where the kids can come and participate in any events. So we brought the library to them. So I want to thank our director, Monica Heppinger, our Department of Public Works and Parks, our police department, the KSB Fire Department. All of us got together and were able to bring the library to the kids. Councilman Bauer provided hot dogs and drinks, and the Friends of the Library provided free books. There was a lot of kids that came, and I hope that this will continue to grow and we can bring the library to maybe areas in our town that the kids have no access to libraries. Again, thank you so much. It was a successful event, and that is all that I have.
Thank you, Council Vice President De Jesus. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you. My agenda is also in order. I just have one reminder. Our Colonial Family Day Barbecue and Wiffle Ball tournament will be August 3rd. I still have room for more teams. I see some firemen over there. We might want to put a team in. You only need 5 players. It's $10 a person, and all the money that we raise for this event will go to a little boy, Elijah, that lives in Woodbridge, who is battling a rare immune disorder. So come out, have a hamburger, play a game of wiffle ball, and let's work together to help him. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Councilwoman Drum.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have an announcement. I just wanted to extend my thanks as well as everyone else on the dais to our administration and to our emergency personnel, fire, police, everyone with the extreme high temperatures, the administration in the town providing our cooling centers. I know there's many of those dispersed throughout our entire community. So that was really helpful during the high heat and then all the rain and fire, like you said. So thank you all very much for your services to our community and keeping our residents and our business out of harm's way. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Junior Fire Academy is going on this week, and there's also one for the young campers for next week. I also was able to attend the Junior Police Academy for a little bit last week with Councilwoman Meehan, and it's truly amazing the amount of youths that come out and what they're taught, and they're such valuable life lessons. So I'm hoping that our second year of having our Woodbridge Junior Fire Academy is just as successful as well, and I'm sure it will be. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to announce a few jobs that are available. The New Jersey Civil Service Law Enforcement exam. The application deadline is August 31st, 2019. Please go to info.csc.state.nj.us.vats web. And that's it, web. And then also the census 2020 is looking for workers, and that is https://2020census.gov/en/jobs. Please go to those sites directly if you're looking for any work in law enforcement, or also, and we're going to put those on the employment website so you can click directly onto those links and apply for those jobs. I would also like to echo Councilwoman De Jesus' comments regarding the Junior Police Academy. I didn't know what to expect. My boys typically participate in sports camps, and Brian has already said, I want to come back next year, and we're working on Derek. I think he'll do it too, but it was a fantastic event, a fantastic camp, so I do commend the police department and Director Hubner and all those officers that put the effort in to train our kids and really teach them a lot. It's at a very pivotal point in their life at that middle school age, and I think they learned a lot learned a lot about law enforcement, but learned a lot about responsibility and accountability and teamwork. And it's a great program, and I'm proud as a council member to be a part of that. I also, Mr. Gellin, I would like to say job well done on Amherst and Kenilworth. Those roads, it seems like nowadays, before when they pave a road, it would seem like it would take a week or 2 weeks long, and it seems like it's milled and then it's paved within a day or two, and then striped very shortly after. So congratulations on that. It looks great, and very pleased. I'm also, I believe my street is on the list for next year, and I'm excited. Our whole street is excited about it, and keep up the good work there. And I just want to announce a few events coming up with the Barron Arts Center. There will be a 3rd annual Woodbridge Poetry Festival on August 16th and 17th at the Barron Arts Center. And that'll be a Friday and a Saturday. And there'll be some poets, Deborah Laveglia, Chris Rockwell, and more from 7 to 10 p.m. And check out the website for more on the Barron Arts Center. A lot of good things going on there. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Harrison. Councilman Ficarra.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is spread out all over my desk and partially on Councilman Patel's desk, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. I'd like to plug the community center and the things that are going on there in the summer, but I'm going to zero in on personal training, which they offer. A lot of folks, when they choose to get back in shape, need a little extra push, and we offer a great personal training program there, either as individuals, possibly couples, or a group, and the rates vary. But I can tell you, as somebody that trains on a regular basis, their prices are very, very comparable. Director Simbaluka, is our golf simulator up? I brought it up the last time. Is that up and running now at the club?
So that just passed last week, so we placed the order in. It should be in sometime around the end of August. Hopefully we'll be up by September.
All right, you and I are on for the first round then, all right?
I'm playing down the beach.
Perfect. Senior activities, the New Jersey Senior Olympics, once again hosted by our Woodbridge Township, September 6th, 7th, and 8th. And as I've mentioned for the last couple of weeks, if you're a Woodbridge Township resident, you could get into 3 events for $5, which is a savings of $25. That goes on until August 26th, so you might want to jump on that right away. 2 big events coming up. The Crossroads Race, which is a 10K and a 5K, is the Sunday before Labor Day, which is this year, September 1st, and that is all down at Alvin P. Williams Park. And our annual Woodbridge Township Tour, the Woodbridge Bike Tour, is the last Sunday in September, which it always is, September 29th, and we're looking for sponsors for that event, and you can reach out to the Recreation Center. After the last council meeting, we opened up the community center at Jacobs Landing, and it was a great event. A beautiful, beautiful facility for the residents. A lot of folks came out, and it was just a good time. And that whole area there has enhanced that area of our community, and it's just lovely to see. One final thing is a thank you. The pizza run was a big success, as Mayor McCormick mentioned. Great thank you goes out, Director, to our police department and their coordination with volunteers, our CERT people, the Mayor's Advisory Board, a lot of people. Councilman Trump came out and manned some of the assistance station, but a great team effort. I think our PD does a great job of controlling the race, and then when there's openings, residents can move along. So we're moving away as best we can from closing roads down completely and trying to be respectful to both the runners and their safety, and also to the community for their ability to get out and about. So thank you to all involved. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you,
can have your space back, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Ficarra. Councilman Small.
Mr. President, my agenda is in order this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Small. Councilman Patel.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. My agenda is also in order, but I have I would like to, since I think our fire officials are here, I would like to say thank you to them. Yesterday we had a really big storm, and I was practically outside with, I think, Dee and them for about 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And we have seen your fire trucks running for attending your calls.
and all sides, all our police officers, there were a few of our streets were flooded, and they were monitoring the floods all over and helping out those broken cars, so I'd like to thank them all for that really great service we had last night, And also I have one announcement on August 11th, Indian Business Association, just organizing India Day Parade on Oak Tree Road, and Oak Tree Road will be partially closed from Wood Avenue to Route 27 from 1 p.m. to almost about like 8:30 p.m., like a different segment. But that's all for tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman Tell. Councilman Bowers excused. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only item is you should have received from my office already notice of charges that I signed yesterday against the liquor licensing. Note that in your calendar for a public hearing. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Senator Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll be looking for awarding a bid for lighting for TV 35, also a bid for refurbishing a fire truck, as we've discussed, and a bid for the leasing of certain police vehicles. The rest of my report would be housekeeping.
Thank you, Senator. Director Hudler.
Thank you, Council President. We're changing a number of reserved handicap parking spaces to general handicap parking spaces. We're adding a handicap parking space to Forbes, and we're removing one that's no longer in use. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Senator, do you have anything for?
Yes, on health. Director Green asked if I would say that he would be presenting the 2019 Childhood Lead Poisoning Sub-Grant Agreement for a resolution.
Thanks.
That's all that his report would have.
Thank you. Director Simulka.
Nothing this evening. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Director Darden.
Thank you, Council President. Just a standard bi-weekly resolution for waiver of fees.
Thank you, Director. Director Green. Director Henry. I just said he's not here.
We have two items. The resolution authorizing final change order on contract 2014 Dowie Avenue Road and sewer improvements. We have a resolution authorizing final change order on contract 2018 million resurfacing. Resolution adoption and approval update to Township Environmental Resource Inventory and a release of sidewalk permit 505 International.
Thank you, Director Henry. Legal?
Nothing this evening, Council President.
We have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. Meeting adjourned. Have a good night.